Welcome back to our Key Concepts of ACT series. Today we're looking at one of the 6 core processes in ACT called values and why they're so important to navigating life. When introducing values work to a client, I'll use the following story to illustrate the importance of clarifying our values. On July 4th, 1952, a woman named Florence Chadwick, who was 34 years old at the time, decided to take an incredible challenge. She aimed to become the first woman to swim 21 miles across the Catalina Channel, which stretches from Catalina Island to Palos Verdes on the California coast. However, that day brought tough conditions. The ocean water was bone-chillingly cold, and thick fog enveloped the area, making it hard to see even the boats accompanying her. On top of all this, strong tides and currents were working against her. Oh, and there were sharks lurking nearby. Nevertheless, as the day broke, Chadwick made the determined choice to press onward, hoping the fog would clear soon. Hour after hour, she swam, with her mother and trainer cheering her on from one of the supporting boats. While people across America watched her journey on television, other members on her team fired rifles at the sharks to keep them at bay. Chadwick kept pushing herself. Around the 15-hour mark, doubt started to creep in. She confided in her mother, expressing her uncertainty about finishing the swim. Sadly, at 15 hours and 55 minutes, she had to stop. Feeling immense disappointment, she asked her support team to help her out of the water. The thick fog had prevented her from seeing the coastline, so she had no idea how close she was. She later learned that she was less than a mile from the shore. If she had stayed in the water just a few minutes longer, she could have definitely reached it. Reflecting on the experience, she told a reporter, "Look, I'm not making excuses, but if I had seen the land, I know I could have made it." In the fog of life, we all run the risk of giving up when success is so close. Values are like an internal compass that help us to navigate the fog and get direction in life. ACT approaches goals differently than other therapies. Goals end while values endure throughout life. It's not that goals are unimportant, but that goals may backfire for clients if they do not align with their values. For example, if a depressed person sets a goal of getting to work every day this week, that may work in the short term, but then the following week they're going to need to set another goal, and then another goal. An ACT therapist may focus more on the importance of work as a value to the client. This may lead to further discussions on reasons why they have for working, and perhaps things that will happen if they don't work. However, the value lying underneath work may be hidden from the client and unearthed through such a discussion. The depressed person may find that they value being dependable. Therefore, a goal of consistency makes more sense, and the motivation for being dependable sustains that goal indefinitely. The reality is, many people go to work when they're depressed, while many people stay home when they're depressed. Depression goes wherever the person goes. So in ACT, we're really working with values because that's going to help them move forward. Now, what do we mean by values in ACT? Well, I'll mention 5 brief points. First, values are like big dreams that we have in our life. They're not like regular goals that have a clear finish line, like winning a race. Instead, they're more of a general direction we want to go in life. Like for me, it's to be a lifelong learner. I'm not going to be done with that when I reach my goal of reading the next book or getting a degree. I'm going to always be looking for the next thing because these values are like glue that hold a set of goals together that help us to get there. The second point is that values are not just feelings. They're the things that we do. It's not about the feelings, right? That's not an indicator of how far we are in our progress. It's about taking action that matters. Third point is that we need to think of values not as rules that we have to do this or we're failures, but they're more of like guidelines that help us to know that we're on the right track when we're feeling a little bit lost sometimes, when our thoughts and feelings might even disagree with us. Values are those reminders of saying we're on the right track. Fourth point I'll make is that ACT's main goal is to help people build a life that's more meaningful to them. So it's all about highlighting what's really of value to that person and then helping them move there. And finally, every tool in ACT's toolbox is there to help people reach what they truly care about. If you look at all the processes in ACT, all the concepts and techniques like cognitive fusion, acceptance, contacting the present moment, All of those are there to point to what truly matters to our clients and what truly matters to us in life. Let's practice clarifying our values with a fun exercise using Argyle socks. Now, I want you to imagine for a moment that you cared deeply about the number of people that wore Argyle socks. Now, if you don't know what they look like, this is what they look like, and I happen to actually be a big fan of them. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is to genuinely, truly cultivate a strong conviction that college young men absolutely must embrace the Argyle socks trend. Now, I really want you to feel this in your core. Pour your energy into this notion. Now, this might be easier said than done, but I want you to really try. Give it a shot wholeheartedly. Immerse yourself in this belief. Now, is it resonating? Not quite. Now, let's take this a step further. And I want you to imagine, even though your heart isn't in it, that you're committed to acting in ways to elevate the importance of Argyle socks in the eyes of college students. Let's brainstorm a few approaches that you could take. One approach would be to stage a humorous protest outside one of the dormitories that lack Argyle socks enthusiasts. Another one would be to start making fun of people that don't have Argyle socks. Or another one would be to distribute free Argyle socks to your fellow college goers. Now, here's the kicker. While these actions might seem a bit silly, they're entirely feasible. And I would even probably earn a reputation as a guy who was really into Argyle socks. I may even earn the title of the guy who propelled Argyle socks as a trend among my college peers. Now consider this. If you followed through with these actions, would you be upholding a value that asserts the significance of Argyle socks? Would you, in essence, be making a statement about Argyle socks? Absolutely. Even though you didn't feel it, even though you weren't convinced that it's the best thing ever, your actions would tell people that you valued that. All right, then ponder this. What's standing between you and acting the things that you truly value? After all, if feelings aren't necessarily the linchpin, even when we're dealing with something as seemingly trivial as Argyle socks, then you can act on your values despite how you feel, how motivated you are, or how passionate you are about socks. Imagine being in a thick fog, unable to see where you're headed. It's like trying to reach a destination, but all you see is a wall. You know where you want to go, but the way forward seems hidden. This happens to all of us, not just in swimming, but in life. This is what happens when we lack clarification on our values. We get stuck and give up on our goals. Take Chadwick, for example. She faced this foggy challenge while swimming. The first time, she couldn't see her goal and had to stop. But 2 months later, she tried again. Even though the fog was just as thick, she kept going. And guess what? She broke a 27-year-old record, becoming the first woman to finish the swim. In life, we also hit these foggy moments. We're on a path, but we can't see the end. Whether it's in our business, career, family, or personal life, challenges can appear. These challenges can either break us or make us stronger. It all comes down to how we handle them. Sometimes doubts creep in. We question ourselves, our skills, our intentions, and even our courage. It's like standing on the edge of success, but because we can't see the finish line from where we are, we think about giving up. But remember what Chadwick said. If she could have seen the coastline, she could have made it. It's a reminder that sometimes, even when things seem unclear, pushing through can lead to remarkable achievements when we clarify our values. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of values clarification and meaningful living. If you found this video insightful, remember to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps this growing channel.